welcome you to the sixth session of Youth for Sustainability Dialogues. I am Ketaki, welcoming you on behalf of the organizing partners, Connecting Dreams Foundation, Global Network for Sustainable Development, Masterpiece Foundation, and Helping Hand International. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I would also like to quickly thank members of the core team of Y4SD, Mr. Art Boss, Dr. Amit Tuteja, Dr. Sapna Narela, Maria Sakarias, Dr. Simi Mishra, Dr. Ashima Mathur, Mr. Dhruv Panchal, Basu, and Weber for putting these sessions together in the past year and even in this year. So for people who are new in the audience and have not joined us before, I would like to quickly introduce you to Youth for Sustainability Dialogues. So Youth for Sustainability Dialogues aims to provide a platform to young people around the world to globally present their projects, thoughts, ideas around achieving sustainable development goals. We believe that the youth are the torch bearers of the sustainable world, and through their projects and efforts that we come to see here, we are allowing them to engage in meaningful discussions and showcase their work to the local communities. So we organize a session once every 2 weeks where we see these wonderful change makers. So just to take a break from our regular sessions that we've been organizing, we decided to give the youth a chance to express their creativity through the medium of photography, and we organized a SDG Shutterbug photo competition. So we invited the youth around the world to pick up their cameras and photograph how SDGs are being localized in their communities. So we wanted them to tell us a story in 3 photos about either a particular SDG they see in their communities or if they've done any work around it. And we're happy to tell you that we received some beautiful entries and we're really excited to share those results with you today. So we had 2 categories for this competition. One was the younger generation, aged 13 to 19 years. And the second category was aged 20 to 30 years to showcase their talent. And I think all of us through this competition realized that storytelling can play a really important part in the way we see SDGs, we help in their localization. So I think a big kudos to the youth who participate in this and who are working all around the world to localize SDGs. And an exciting news for the participants who have joined us here, we'll be having an SDG quiz later on in the event, wherein you can participate and get a chance to win certificates from us. So just test your knowledge and see if you actually know enough about them. So getting on to today's session, it'll be on SDGs and storytelling. And we are really delighted to welcome Kasha Sequoia Slavner as our guest and expert. Kasha is the founder of a multi-award-winning The Global Sunrise Project, a led social enterprise, positive impact media. As a recognized global youth leader, Kim Fu and Diana Award recipient, 11 in the UN, youth delegate, and one of the voices of SDG 6+. Kasha uses her storytelling to conduct educational outreach, screenings, exhibitions, and workshops to inspire and empower youth, action, and sustainable development. So I think she's an ideal person to talk on the issue that we're going to have, and we'll be having her soon to tell us about her experiences. We also have with us our wonderful jury members who took out their precious time in the past 2-3 weeks to judge these beautiful entries. And they have also agreed to join us for the session today. And we would be calling them on to say a few words later. So now I would like to call Olena Kosenko, who is a team teacher at DNS, the Necessary Teacher Training College, and also a Masterpiece Denmark club leader. So she will just quickly take us through the grading procedure that was followed by the jury to judge these photos. So Svetlana, please come on and explain what was it that the jury was looking in the photos and how they decided the
Yes. So hello everyone. So I'm Svetlana, and then yeah, we gave you a difficult task to pick up any of the multiple SDGs and tell a story about it. Think what is it the issue, the most important in your region or for you personally, and you know, show it and take a stand. What is it that you want to show with that picture? What message message you want to bring with that. So because the task is difficult, we had to define some. One of the main criteria was exactly the match between the theme of the competition and the photos that were presented. So that was the first criteria. The second criteria, of course, was the creativity. So what is original in that picture? Is there a different look on a competition or a different look on an issue itself? Then the third criteria was an interesting title or caption of the photos, because that also story, and it's a big part of what the picture signalizes, and then you double check it with the title. So that was also a very important part. And then we as well looked at the composition, so more professional part of the photography. So what is the perspective? Interesting that the eye of photographer captured. Is the object shown in a different way? Is there colors nicely put? And of course, quality and techniques in general. So that was very few, but very important criteria. And we graded in each category from 1 to 7. Then we sum up, and your totals from each jury member were put together. And here we go, we have winners. So that's shortly about our process. It was fun, but difficult task.
Great. Thank you so much, Svetlana. I think everybody here has more clarity on the aspects you were looking at. And I think everybody can see the effort the jury has put behind reading these beautiful entries. Great. So without further ado, I would like to jury members. So now we have Gabriela Cabrera, who handles communication at Masterpiece Key to Ecuador, and Olena Zinchenko, who is the head of the Center of Cultural and Social Innovations and a Masterpiece Kiev club leader. So great, Olena and Gabby, it would be great if you could come on and then we can announce the results.
Yeah.
And we would also be sharing the photographs for all of you to see just how beautiful work we have gotten from everybody. Great. So I would also request Vasu to share the photographs with us. Great. So Gabriela, are you online with us?
Yeah, hello, I'm here. I'm sorry, so I was thinking that I'm going to read in the screen the names because I didn't have
Sure,
so
you can do that.
yeah, but can you share me please the other that you showed me before? The what? Okay,
Yes.
hours categories. The hours categories are 2. So right now we are going to present the age of 13 to 19. In each category, I 3 winners. Everyone has a really good job. So it's not like one is better than another. We only choose the most credible and really creative stories that you tell around the world. Okay, category 1. Okay, go on. Okay, and the winners are, okay, please, claps. Okay. Sevsko Elisaveta Alexandrova from Russia. Congratulations. From the Ecuador, we are in the center of the world, so I'm going to send you a really big hug. Next one. Say, I live in the Jura with very cold. Okay, feed me. This is a really beautiful story you need to share. It's what I live in the Jura with very cold winters, where the temperature reaches 40 degrees. But for our little fair-haired friends, only hunger can be more terrible than cold. Because of this, that thousands of bears die during the winter. Anyone can help them. Make a feeder, save someone's life. This story I really like personally, was really amazing and creativity. You can see the photos and have a really good aesthetic and composition. So really congratulations. Yeah, it's so good. I really like it. Okay, and the next winner is, please clap, clap, clap again. Anushka Mishra from India. Congratulations. Okay, the title of their story is Road to Success. Transportation can enhance economic growth and improve accessibility, especially in villages and towns. Sustainable transportation achieves better integration of the economic while respecting the environment, improving social equity, health, resilience of cities, urban rural linkage, and productivity of rural areas. I really think that this girl is a girl. This girl boy take a really have a really good eye for have this kind of activities that we forget. You can see that it's something that is so kind of for me from Ecuador. I don't see that kind of stuff all the days. So when I saw that was wow, that is amazing. It's so beautiful and the composition it's really good. So really congratulations. Okay, the next winner is Caps on the Air again. This is the last one of this category. Connecting Dream Foundation Shivaji College chapter from India. Congratulations! Can we see the story about these photos? For Dream Collection, we visit Sharkurpur area in the north of Delhi. We observed every business was suffering that made them difficult in providing their children with quality education. Increased poverty, roadside, chaiwalas, food stalls have seen their revenue go below the 15%. You can see that's so impacting for me to see that stuff. It's so a really good story. Have a problem, a really problem that is happening right now worldwide. So you can see through this photo. So I really feel this is a really amazing job. Congratulations.
Great. Thank you so much, Gabriela. I think those are some beautiful entries. And now we would like to call on Olena to announce our second category winners.
In addition, these competitions serves as a platform for talented young photographers to make their mark and be noticed. It is indeed important for us to recognize talent early so that we can give them greater encouragement, pursue their passion. By organizing this competition, the Form Connected Dreams Foundation is playing an important role to identify and nurture young photographic talents, and I encourage the Form to continue this effort. At this point, I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate Dutyman, the Literary Society India, Lucknow, for being named the winner from 20-30 age category. Flowers, new leaves, and finally, nature, set and reliefs. What distinguishes an image? Is it the drama of the moment, the artistic qualities of its composition, the expression on a face, the time in history it represents, or the way light played with the subject? Knowing the story behind the image can deepen one's appreciation of it, even without the story. However, knowing how to look at a photograph can do the same. What relationship did a photographer create among shapes, textures, shadows, and lights? What is the emotional impact of those relationships? A strong image is always marked by a combination of the photographer's technical mastery and creative vision. So those are some wonderful photographs by an amazing photographer.
Great. Let's move on to announcing the next winner.
The second our prize plays Simran Puri from India, Delhi. You won second prize in our competition. A photograph itself is a kind of magic. In its simplest form, it captures a moment gone and preserves a place and the unchanged on its two-dimensional plane. The mechanics of that alone are an astonishing feat where the goal is the image produced and the subject is clearly framed and readily recognized. And it's about his photographs. And our third prize plays Connected Dreams, ARCD chapter, India, Delhi. Congratulate. A smile comes from the heart, can brighten your day and the people around you. Your smile might make others smile. The power of smiling can improve your mood, get in spirit, and help you look on the upside of things. We shall never know all the good that a smile can do, Mother Teresa said. I'm very pleased by the efforts of our young photographers, and I encourage them to continue to draw inspiration from the community and at the same time inspire and motivate young people through their photography. Congratulate our winners.
Congratulations to all the 6 winners. And I think we are really astonished by your work, and all the jury members here would agree with me that they were amazed by the level of work they saw. And now to announce your prize, we are glad to announce that you would get a masterclass to hone your skills with 2 very talented photographers, Vaibhav Tekchandani and Abhishek Manna. So we have Abhishek Manna here with us. So Abhishek, would you just like to quickly come on and say a few words?
Okay, hello to everyone. I am Abhishek. I do work in some organization, but actually my passion and hobby is photography. So I recently completed my AFIP, that is a national distinction from Federation of Indian Photography, and I am pursuing FIAP, that is a international distinction, and awarded FIP Merit Medal recently. So the pictures are awesome. It's really a storytelling picture, but they have to develop some composition skill and some techniques. So in the class, I will develop myself and develop them too.
Great,
Thank
great.
you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. I think all our participants would be looking forward to really working on, like you said, specific skills, and then also emerging as better photographers. Thank you so much. Great. So I think it was really great to see the winners, and I think we can truly see how stories can be said in very few pictures, and a lot can be communicated about simple things and even sustainable development goals. So now I would like to invite all our jury members to also say a few words on and their thoughts on how photography can be used as a medium of storytelling for engaging in such discussions. So I think Svetlana, let's start with you.
Yes. Maybe firstly, I will just a little bit share about what I'm doing and who I am. So yes, my name is Svetlana, as already mentioned many times, and I am a teacher. I'm a teacher in a teacher training college, and not just the teacher training college, but the necessary teacher training college. So it's a very alternative college where we train to be teachers, and where we believe actually that each of us is a teacher and a student or a learner at the same time. So for me, my perspective when it comes to photography, arts in general, or any creative skill is actually a talk about a very necessary skill that and the teacher and the learner should have. And talking about sustainable development goals, it's a lot of problems out there, and we need a lot of solutions to be found. And then only creative people can do that, because problem solving, it is a creative skill, and it's not something that we just are born with. It's a skill that, yeah, we are all talented and we have that, but the skill to use our talents and to try to solve the problem in different way, that's something that we have to develop in order to contribute to a better world and a better society, and solve the issues, and in general communicate and develop the relationship we have with each other. So as a very, very teacher perspective, I think that every artist is a teacher, because to be able to express what you think, to be able to bring the message out there in any form, in any shape, and dare to do that, I think it's a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful inspiration for everyone to see and to gain that knowledge from that person. So I'm really, really inspired that such competitions are happening, and I think let it be first one, but not the last one, where each of us can can practice those skills, because it's not an easy task. I really was surprised to see young people sending in the entries with a deep message out there, and maybe, you know, I could be just excited to see, and I see that deep message, but I think there was. It's not just my imagination talking. Hearing what the other juries said, it's also clearly confirms that there was some substance in it. And of course, they can develop further with the help of our experts later on with compositions and all of the other. But I think the motivation and inspiration that they shared with us by just submitting something and trying and daring to do that, I think that was a very, very inspiring point for me. And I think that's more than other any skills important. So I'm very thankful for being invited to be part of such event. And I really, really think that it's creativity that will save the world. And we have to continue doing that, teaching that and learning that. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think it's creativity that will save the world. I think I resonate with that, and a lot of photographers here would also believe that, I think, looking at the creativity they've come up with. Great. Yeah. So Olena, what are your views on this? How have you seen it happen in your field, or what are your views on this?
I'm Olena Zinchenko from Kiev, Ukraine. Now I'm professional photographer. My creative pseudonym photography, Helen of Troy. I have diploma from the Norwich University of Arts online. I specialize in ICM and double exposure photography. The simplest question in photography is also the most complex. What makes a good photo? It isn't enough to say that a good photo comes from its lighting, composition, subject, and so on. This question has a deeper answer. A good image is different as they may be from one another. All stem from the same roots. The photographer has a strong goal for the photo, then expresses that goal in the most effective possible way, forming a vision. Every photo you take must exist for a reason. That's true. Whatever it's a throwaway image, a family snapshot, or the greatest work of art ever created. If you don't have a reason to take the photo, it simply won't exist. The reason is the vision behind a photograph. It's very important for our young photographers. It always helps to have the clearest possible vision in mind when you take a photo. Rather than, whoa, that's cool, Sam, I need a picture. It's better to say to yourself, this landscape would work perfectly in a dark, moody photograph. How can I achieve that? That's I can long say about technique of photography, but I would like to put your vision into practice. You need to approach every aspect of photography thoughtfully and conscientiously. I was very glad to join this work of our jury in this contest, and I've seen we have many young, talented people from around the world, and congratulate our winners once more. What can I say?
Thank you so much, Olena. I think our photographers here followed that vision behind each photograph, which is what made those photographs really great. So I think even budding photographers in the audience would take this message home about having a vision for each photo. So thanks so much for sharing that. Great. Gabriela, we would like to hear from you now. What are your thoughts on photography?
Hello. Okay. Okay, I'm Gabby. I'm Gabby from Ecuador, as you say. Thanks. First, I want to say thank you for the invitation to be part of this jury. I'm really pleased for you to take me account. For me, photography is an art expression. It's expression that you can put there all your feelings. I have there is a quote that I really like about photography. Is that the photo is freezing a moment for the eternity. You know, in the before centuries, there is no photos, and right now we have this old technology. You can take a photo in any moment with your cell phone, with a camera, with whatever you have there, and you can freeze a face, freeze an action, freeze an activity and a big association. So that's for me really important, because throughout the photo you can tell stories. You can place a problem. You can share. Sometimes you don't know how to express what you're feeling. Maybe you are sad, maybe you're happy, maybe you're confused. But with a photography, you can mix all these kind of feelings and share with the world. And that's what I really like the photography. I'm a filmmaker. I just studied filmmaking. So I'm a professional photographer here in my country. I take photos, a lot of photos all the days, because I think that is the most beautiful way that you can express what you're feeling. So I'm really pleased to be here. And all the persons that are watching this, I want to say, don't give up. Photography is not easy. You know, you take your cell phone and you took a photo and say, oh, it's ugly, I don't like it. But it's not like that. You only need to practice again and again, and you're going to find your style, your cosmovision photographer. And then when you're going to have that, they're never gonna stop you. You're going to take photos everywhere you're going to go, and this is really good. I'm going to be in this angle. So yeah, I really encourage everyone to don't give up and still taking photos and still telling stories. I really like a masterpiece. I want to say thank you for everyone from Ecuador, and I always say that. I send a big hug for everyone from the center of the world.
Thank you so much, Gabby. I think you all encouraged us to not stop trying. Yeah, I agree. Photography is very hard. And I think with the new technology, everyone's trying to get good skills at it. And it's a tough journey, but I think, yeah, it's something you can express your emotions in. Thank you so much. We also have Fouad Kargbo with us, who was also a member of the jury. And he is a human rights activist and a documentary filmmaker, and also part of Masterpiece Sierra Leone. So, Fouad, would you also like to come on and say a few words since you have experience in this field?
I'd like to say hello to everyone. Hello.
Hi.
Most of what I had wanted to say has been said by previous speakers. I only want to just throw light basically on, let's say, the composition of the shots. You know, that was one thing that I was kind of concerned about, composition. You know, photographers should know that they are free to explore whatever thing that comes to their mind, because it's not like it's something that you have to, you know, you have to be very careful about. Of course, you need to be careful, but it's something that it is artistic. It's an inspiration. It's something that comes to your mind, and then you kind of want it to just flow through you freely. But also you want to take note of the background and the colors and everything that has to make the shot look more better, because it's better to get a perfect shot than you try to do it on edit, because it's more better when you get that on set. Because basically when you go to do your photo shoot, probably you would like to tell a story on a particular human rights issue, you know, you can just go and see things happening. So you have to capture the moment, you have to ensure you get the idea, you want to know what you want to tell. So you have to actually know when to take the shot, how it should look like, you know, telling the story of what you intend to let us know and understand. Because most of what I saw when I was grading the photos was very good, actually, though some were kind of some were blurry, and some I kind of find it a little difficult to understand what the actual story was behind it. But all was nice. I enjoyed each and every photo, only that I would like them to understand that getting the colors right, you know, having to get a proper eye to know what you'd like to show, telling the story correctly and letting us understand what you actually, you know, want to tell. Because that's the story. That's the story. Taking a couple of photos, explaining to us what you see and you'd like us to see using your lens. So that is the very important thing about the photography competition that I like most. And I would like to say congratulations to everyone who took part. And I would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of the jury panel. It's an honor. I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. So I would like to say kudos to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Fouad. I think we were also really glad to have all of you on the jury. And you rightly pointed out that technique does play an important part in each photograph, because it plays an important role in highlighting the actual thing you want everyone's focus on. So great. Thank you so much for sharing your views with us. We also have Sudipta from Kolkata, who's also a member of the jury. So would you want to also say a few words?
Hello everybody. Yes, thank you. I mean, it's part of Masterpiece community, and this is the first time I'm part of this initiative, which was started for this dialogue with the youth to um, uh, sort of catalyze more action on the development front. And the photography competition is a wonderful idea because it uses the tools of culture to bring about awareness and on issues. So, that is and it's very nice to be part of this jury, which are who are so technically uh, efficient. And so there are a few things that I just want to mention that I went through the photographs, and they are. I'm really thankful to all the people who submitted their photographs, because it does take some commitment and time to do this, and they have done this, and I guess that in the years to come we will see that the outreach will grow and there will be greater number of submissions. Photography is a very powerful tool, and I recollect attending a training workshop by Shahidul Alam, who is one of the finest photographers in the world. He's from Bangladesh, and in fact, some of you may know that he got arrested a couple of years ago due to the fact that he is politically, his photography talks about the politics. So anyways, the thing is, at a very young age, Shahidul says in the workshop that he saw that in his house every day, the young boy who used to be the servant, who was of his age, would sit at the edge of the room near the door and watch television while others were seated on their sofa. And this, he took his camera one day and he photographed this boy watching television while his parents didn't see. And the next, in the next few days or weeks, he showed the photograph to his family. And the family were very challenged, of course, in the way they treated this boy in their household. And so in the future, the boy found a chair to watch television, to be part of that community or the family. So from there on, of course, so photography has a huge impact in the way you put it to investigate reality. The reality which is which we see but we don't see, the reality which misses our gaze. So it's the job of the artist and the photographer to throw gaze on things which we otherwise miss. And it's the job of the youth to constantly expand your mind and to have diverse thinking, and to look at your environment as not monolithic or but as full of possibilities. And in this, the lens plays a very important role. Of course, photography also allows you to dramatize the image. So you are moving away from reality and you are creating some dramatic narrative through various technical skills. And post-production today allows you to do so many things which was unthinkable many years ago. At the end of it, of course, photography is an art form, and the pure aesthetic technicalities are as important as the politics of the photograph. And I'm very happy that we have decided that the youth who are interested in photography would be getting into a masterclass to learn about the skills of photography. So it's important to do both and to find the soul behind the lens, and also understand the camera, which is a part of us. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that story was really great for all of us to hear how one photograph, even if it brought a small change in that boy's life, it did accomplish that goal. So yeah, thank you for sharing that beautiful story with us. I think it's inspired me and everyone else here as well to pick up and use photography for championing different causes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, jury. Thank you for your contribution to this competition. And we really loved hearing all your opinions, and we learned a lot. I think I personally learned a lot. So now I would like to invite Ms. Kasha to talk about her experience of storytelling through photography. And she is the founder of a multi-award winning the Global Sunrise Project. And she has had a lot of experience in this field of using photography as a medium of championing causes. So Ms. Kasha, we would like to invite you on to the stage. Sorry, you're just muted, so we are unable to hear you.
Here. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. And also, I want to say congratulations to the winners of the competition. Your stories and your vision is inspiring. I also want to congratulate anyone who may not have received any sort of accreditation, but took the courage to submit their photos. Everybody's voices are equally important, and the fact that we all are here because we share the love of photography to create social change is it's encouraging and uniting. So I was asked to share a little bit of my story. I'm going to share a presentation with you. Okay, I'm just going to make sure that I can. There we go. So as said, I'm Kasha. I'm also apparently joined here by my household companion, who I'm gonna get out of the frame for now. So I'm a filmmaker and photographer and social justice advocate. And I have been passionate about photography since I was about 6 years old. I've always had it as a hobby, not always been something that I've seriously pursued. But when I was 13, I decided that I could use this hobby that I had to make positive change in my community. So I started selling what I called Kasha's cards of kindness, as you can kind of see at the bottom here. These were greeting cards that I would make with photos that I had taken to fundraise for local causes that I cared about. Particularly domestic violence and women's shelters in the city of Toronto, where I'm from, was my first cause. So this is kind of how I felt I could use my skills to contribute. I've always been a very shy person, and I much prefer to be behind the lens of a camera than in front of it, being a social advocate. And I guess I used this as a way that I could express that care for the world that I had. So I wanted to do something that could help change the world, like I'm sure most of you here also do. We care about the Sustainable Development Goals, and that's what unites us. So I guess when I first started, I never really expected my work to go beyond very small local action. But at 14 years old, I took a trip that changed my life forever. I attended a United Nations conference called the Commission on the Status of Women in New York City as a delegate with the Canadian Voice of Women for Peace. 6,000 people from around the world were there. And the women I met were from countries that I'd never traveled to before. They shared stories with me about the challenges that they faced in addressing gender inequality in their communities. And no matter the adversity they faced, they sought out solutions and tirelessly worked to create a positive impact. The stories I heard inspired me to use my passion for film and photography to do something. I wanted to showcase an alternative narrative to the mainstream media's depictions of the world, which are often quite sensationalized, they're very overwhelming, and oftentimes they see the world in black and white. Other countries are only poverty-stricken and full of war and inequality. And what was missing from those narratives was the agency and creativity of local activists on the ground who know their community best and were looking for ways to solve the challenges that they were facing. So after we returned home, my mom and I, from the United Nations, I decided to pitch a crazy idea, which was to take a whole year out of school to travel the world and make a documentary film about people in the global community making a difference despite all odds. So to my surprise, as a 15-year-old, she said, you know, this is a really big idea. This is a big project. You've never done anything like this before. I'm going to leave it to you. If you can find the way to raise the money, we will make it happen. So this is your project. Run like the wind. So I founded the Global Sunrise Project. So at the Global Sunrise Project, we harness the power of solution-oriented storytelling through filmmaking, photo exhibits, and social media campaigns to inspire our audiences to take action in their community and generate further awareness and action towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. So the Sunrise Storyteller, I wanted to share briefly. The sunrise and both the Global Sunrise Project, the name comes from the sunrise being a universal symbol for hope. So I figured that these stories of triumph over adversity could help young people feel empowered, especially to take action in their own communities and see that they have the power to make meaningful change in their own way. And we're seeing that here with this competition. Young people are making meaningful change through their photography and through their visual arts. So at the Global Sunrise Project, we believe in taking creative activism one step further. In addition to the documentary filmmaking, I also mentioned I put together photo exhibits and social media campaigns featuring the Sustainable Development Goals. And this is an example of a campaign that we run called Picture 16. So that focuses on SDG 16 and its intersectionality with all of the other SDGs, with issues like food and water security, climate change, gender inequality. So this exhibit traveled to France to a student expo to educate youth attending on the need to create peace. So I'm just sharing a couple slides from the exhibit. So this one is called Violence, Not Violence. And I'll read briefly the description. So this was taken in Bangkok, Thailand. At this point in time, there are ongoing conflicts in various regions of the world, causing destruction, distress, and displacement. Activists have fought for decades for a world without war or the threat of a nuclear holocaust in favor of a world where peace is priority. On this sweltering day in Thailand, I was wandering through a crowded market when I heard the most beautiful sound drifting down the aisle. There was a violinist joyfully playing, smiling at each stranger who walked past, who would then shyly smile in return. The way we use our creativity can really help us to find solutions to peace, just as this violinist was. What if we used our creative gifts and talents to contribute to the well-being of the greater good? No peaceful action is too small. And I think that this group of people exemplify this exact message. So I'll move on to the next slide. This photo is called Crowded Classroom. So this was taken in Arusha, Tanzania, and I'll read the description. There are a variety of factors that cause that result in the lack of attendance at schools in this East African country. Resources for education in developing nations are scarce to the point where millions of children cannot attend school, and gender inequality is a huge factor in this. The barriers to obtaining an education, such as the price of uniforms or transportation, children in conflict, and other factors are keeping kids away from school, and we all know this. But the question that I wanted to pose was, how is it that billions are spent on defense and militarism worldwide, but there's seemingly no budget for education? This is a human right that everybody should have access to. Education for girls, especially right now, is important, with 65 million girls currently not attending school. And according to the organization Global Citizen, if all women had a primary education, there would be 1.7 million fewer malnourished children. Evidence has shown that when a woman is educated, she will prosper individually, but also provide for her family and the community in helping break the cycle of poverty. So inequalities are economic and gender inequalities are a huge driving factor for a lack of peace and the presence of conflict. So when we invest in education, peace will also increase. So I just wanted to go over some of my favorite photos that I've taken within the past few years, and I'll explain a couple of them briefly. So the two on the bottom left and the top right are taken at the climate march in New York City. And I saw thousands of youth activists gather to make their voices heard on the issue of climate change. And this was a very impactful moment for me as a young person who also cares about the issue of climate injustice. So those are just a couple of photos from that event. And then the bottom right is the Maasai tribe in Tanzania, which I had the chance to travel to when I was filming a segment on girls' education. They were about to bring a boarding school specifically for girls to the Maasai tribes. So we were there to see the negotiations of that process. So I'm just going to share a couple more. The top right corner photo was taken in Bangkok, Thailand, in a sweltering market. This photo just gave me so much joy because there were so many people gathered around this one baby who was just, in a bucket filled with cold water, is just trying to escape the heat and cope with the heat while his parents were selling their goods. And just to see people gathering and smiling over something that was common and uniting was really inspiring to me. The bottom left photo is the UN Women's Day March, and violence against women is a very clear message. And I just wanted to capture that moment. Again, top right corner, some children that I had the opportunity to meet in Tanzania. A motif, I guess, through my photography is I am very inspired by children and youth. And so I like to connect with them whenever I'm traveling. And then finally, the photo on the bottom right was taken when we were touring Thailand. This man who is sitting in the front in the gray is a gentleman who started a business. He is blind and he wanted to start a business for other blind people who don't have the same economic opportunities in Thailand. Oftentimes their work is not as great of quality, so he started a specialized massage school to train them all in that skill so they would have decent economic opportunities. So I just wanted to end on this one note, is that young people, we are making change. We not only have an awareness of the world's challenges, but a vision for a better future. And we realize that our actions have a greater effect beyond our direct circles. We're taking steps towards sustainable change so that we can all have a better planet to live on. I always stress that not everybody needs to be an organizer or a speaker or a politician. Movements need artists too. We need to open people's hearts and help them learn and move them, most importantly, to take action. We need people of all talents, countries, races, genders, sexualities, and religions to make meaningful impact across all systems. Everyone's uniqueness has a place in changing the world. And that's why I'm so excited to have heard your youth voices through the art you've created. Your perspectives have the potential to create incredible change. And sometimes it's a scary first step, but each of you have already started and taken that first step in putting your work out there and sharing your passions and care for the world around you. So together we can unite to create sustainable peace on this planet, not only for our generation, but for generations to come. And I think that that's the power of storytelling. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Kasha. I think it was really, really amazing to see the work that you've done and how you've used the medium of photography and storytelling to put broader messages across for everywhere around the world. And thank you so much. I think the participants here are very, very inspired by you and learned a lot from the process. Thank you so much. So with this, we come to the end of another beautiful session. Thank you to all the participants, jury members, and our experts here for helping create this wonderful session. And I think Kasha also mentioned it. I would also like to thank all the other young photographers. I mean, you did the first step. You put out your photographs in the world and you use them to champion a cause. So I think that's commendable on your part. And we really encourage you to keep going forward and not stopping on this journey so that we can work on creating real change. So thank you so much to all the participants and all the winners. And we will also be getting in touch with your emails to share your certificates. And also thank you for your participation. And we also congratulate all the winners here and look forward to seeing you in the masterclass. So I guess we can give one final round of applause to the winners. A silent one at that due to this situation. Great. Thank you all for being present at the session. And we would really like to invite you to the next one, which will happen on 29th of January. And we would love to see you all there when we see some beautiful work from different youth around the world and their work being done for SDGs. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.